Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Wednesday. Yes. Tony's favorite day of the week. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Pumped that it is Wednesday. Week is flying by here for sure. And it'd be nice to see the Rangers back in action tonight. That's definitely what I'm looking forward to most tonight, dude. It's gonna be sick.
And the pressure is on, and we'll get to it.
Yeah,
but
for
the Bruins winning yesterday, so Rangers got to make up some points. And how do you do that? You win. So that's what we're hoping they can do. But two huge games on the horizon the next few days with the Bruins and then the Penguins game on Friday. So let's go Rangers.
That's right, dude. Let's absolutely go Rangers. I have high hopes these next two games. Like you said, a lot of pressure. So I don't know if you saw it too, but it seems like JT Miller is living with Vinny T, dude.
Oh, in his apartment or whatever.
Yeah, I guess in or apartment or house.
Yeah.
I don't know what the living situation is, but
yeah.
Obviously steak dinners, hanging out. So hopefully, some better team chemistry, some more scoring, some more winning.
Right? Yeah, I mean that's what you love to see.
That's what you need to see.
You have to. We have a few comments if we want to start with those, Tony. Josh B. I mean, he's always good batting.
Honestly,
up, no?
dude, Josh B leading off here. Really, dude, says, yo, fam, what is up? Knicks dub, he says, Rangers tonight, LFG. Absolutely, dude. We have Ernie also in the house, says, Luka, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I guess introduced first time,
yeah.
Laker.
Still seems a little shell-shocked, but I think it's going to work. I think it's definitely going to work.
Yeah, I think it will, too. Do you think about any chance, too, like, because, obviously as the days have, passed after the crazy trade, I mean, a lot of people are starting to, it seems like they're changing gears and saying that Dallas is looking really good right now in terms of short term right now. Great, Luka. And then obviously, like, everyone's talking about how, like Luka, the work ethic, they're kind of like
well,
I'm not going to say bashing.
That, but then next time he takes the court, is he not going to drop 35, 10, and 5?
Yeah, you're right.
Probably
dude.
will.
You think any chance, too, that he does? Because again, like, what people are saying is that, lack of working out, not really retaining shape, not really caring what other people care about him to say on the Mavericks. Seemed like there was a lack of accountability towards Luka, like this untouchable mentality. I mean, do you think that really was the case?
You're saying that he doesn't have the right work ethic?
Work ethic, yeah, dude.
I think it's so overblown, and actually, I think Ernie said something about this in the comments that we'll get to. But let me tell you, I think this whole ordeal is going to be the biggest motivation of Luka Doncic's career. Yeah. He's just too talented. He played in Europe before he came over here. He's been a star ever since, and I'm telling you, he wants to stick it to the Mavericks and show that they made the biggest mistake in that franchise's history.
Wow, dude. That would be pretty sick to see. What else is sick to see is Matthew Gabriel in the house. He says, let's go, Matty boy. And then here's, he also says, get the dub tonight, dude. Obviously, the Rangers. Come on, dude. Come on. And then, of course, Michael Buckta says, yo, Barnes, how about those Lakers absolutely trounced the fraud F Clippers last night?
Who needs AD? Who needs Luka?
Yeah.
And you just win by 25. I mean, that's a pretty good win, Michael.
Definitely is, dude. And then he says, which I don't really know what he's talking about here, because this is the sports port, not a therapy port. We don't talk about our personal problems.
It's about sports, so that's why we continue on.
Absolutely right. And he's hyped Barnes, Lakers title contenders, dude.
I mean,
ordered his Luka jersey yesterday.
Love it. And I mean, it's hard to say that they wouldn't be when you have two of, top 5 players in the game. I mean, I think that's a pretty good combination to have.
Ernie says, Buckta, let me get a Luka one time, dude.
Wait, I don't understand that.
What?
No, but it says, let me get a
Lucan. I want to say he hit N.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a Luca. It made me think of Luka Pekka Ukkonen, you know?
Maybe, dude.
We get a Luka one time. That's what you're saying you meant to say.
Yes,
yeah.
I would think so anyway. Yeah. That's just me. Who knows? John Pollock here says another amazing episode of this Fire podcast. Absolutely, dude.
John
Glad you're in the building with us today.
Yeah, great to have John with us.
And then Bukta gives his usual shout out to Josh Duke, Kev Dude, now adding John and Ernie as well, dude. Ernie's hyped next 10 years, a decade secured for the Lakers.
Maybe 15 years.
Honestly, dude, right? And then here we go. Bukta St. John's going down on Friday, dude.
No doubt. They had a big win against Marquette yesterday, so they are due. Law of averages, only 3 losses on the season.
And then he says, Luka, how are you? Give you a nice how are ya? And then Ernie says here, this is the same thing about Shaq before coming to LA.
Yeah.
About the lack of preparation and shape, physicality.
Which, I mean, part of that was true, but then again, I mean, sometimes you're so good, it doesn't matter. Right, Tony?
Do you think that is a reasonable comparison between the two?
It feels like in a way, but this is why it almost doesn't matter. I mean, think about it. I mean, think about how fat Shaq was. As good as he was, but he obviously was out of shape, and he would always say that he used the beginning of the season to get in shape. He's partying all off season. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like Luka. Okay, he's not in great shape, but also he's not like a lard either.
No, he's not like a lard.
So that's why it's like I think it's way overblown.
And he says 5 years, 5-time All-NBA. If that's not work ethic, IDK, what is, he says.
No, I mean, it's really an insult. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, you look at the numbers, Tony. I mean, they stack up with anybody.
Numbers are there, dude. That's for sure. That is for sure, dude. And I guess, I mean, it can only get better, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
25 years old?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's really, really what it is.
And we're caught up on the comments by now.
Wow.
Yeah, just like
I'm
that.
sure, more definitely going to trickle in as
dog.
they always do. So a lot to get to, but it's probably just going to be a quick trip. But if we could just go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So, a couple moves yesterday in Major League Baseball. Obviously, still not the big ones, and in terms of Alonso or Bregman, but one definitely close to home, and one, ironically enough, that we were talking about yesterday. Tim Hill re-signing with the Yankees. They had been working on that deal all offseason. 1 year, $2.85 million with an option for $3 million the following season. I think it makes so much sense. Obviously, under $3 million for, a guy that was nothing but lights out for you last year. I mean, you look at what he did in the regular season, a 2.05 ERA over 44 innings, a ground ball machine. That's why, you see the low strikeout totals, but that doesn't matter. The point is, the soft contact and the ability to get any lefty out, and everybody still wants to see what would have happened if Tim Hill, had faced Freddie Freeman instead of Nestor Cortez in the World Series. We'll never know. And speaking of the playoffs and the World Series, he carried that success over to the playoffs. He had a 108 earned run average in the postseason. So he's a guy that you feel like could get anybody out, and is just such a rare type of unicorn pitcher. He's thrown mid to high 80s, and really is throwing all, like he doesn't throw fastballs. He's throwing, stuff with movement, and it gets the hitters out. And I just think this is an absolute bargain. And then the fact too that you have that flexibility to opt into that $3 million next year. I mean, talk about it, an absolute home run, Tony.
And it's funny because Tim Hill probably won't be giving up many home runs. But in any case, dude, and then the deal is great. I think it's very favorable for the Yankees, not for nothing. And like you said, it's funny, before the show, you kind of scoffed, what the hell was kind of taking so long?
Right.
But it is, dude. I mean, it's, you look at his numbers we did yesterday, between it was the White Sox, right? White Sox and the Yankees last year. He boasted great numbers, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, someone who obviously has experience, like you said, someone who you would have thought to bring in out of the bullpen in a big moment, in a big game, I think no doubt though he's going to rise to that occasion, and I mean tremendous piece for the bullpen for the Yankees. Like that's huge if you're a Yankees fan.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was something that we wanted to see, and it's something that we get. You just love to see it. So now we have our lefty in the bullpen, and who knows, maybe somebody will come through in spring training, and we do have a lot of righties, so they were saying potentially people could get moved as well. But
are they looking to acquire anyone else for the bullpen, or you think it's going to be kind of like status quo?
No. This is going to be it. I'm sure they'll bring in guys for spring training just to see, what they look like. So I think they're solidified, and I was just looking here because I was trying to go through my head in terms of like percentages, and I think this changed even more so towards the slider when he went with the Yankees. But last year, it's saying 68.6% of the time he threw that slider, and then 26% of the time he threw the fastball, and because of his arm angle, because he's always throwing sliders, when he did throw the fastball, it felt a lot faster than 88, 90 miles an hour. So just an absolute weapon. And he did say too that he had unfinished business to do, and he's ready to go. So
love to see that, dude.
You love to see that.
Hear it.
And then just some other, more minor moves yesterday. Randall Grichuk back to the Diamondbacks. I think it was $5 million. So he was on Toronto a few years ago. He's kind of jumped around and was good, with Arizona last year. Didn't play the full season, but hit 291 with 12 homers, 46 RBIs. So to me, that's a pretty big bargain, with an 875 OPS. You also have Ramon Laureano joining the Orioles, 1 year, $4 million deal. And he hit 259 for Atlanta and Cleveland last year with 11 homers, and obviously, played a lot of his career with the A's earlier on. So that was kind of one of those other bargain deals. The Cubs traded for Ryan Brazier, who was on the Dodgers last year. I guess a player to be named later. He was designated last week when they signed Kirby Yates, and he had a 354 earned run average in the regular season. So just kind of one of those things. They didn't have room for him, but I think, that's a good move for the Cubs as well. And they had already picked up Presley, so kind of shaping up that bullpen. And people are talking about them potentially, for Bregman, which is interesting. So, we inch closer and closer, 9 days away from both the Yankees and Mets pitchers, both reporting here. Everybody's talking about it. We just can't wait for the season to start.
That's right, dude. Even Rick and Dave are talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
we have some more comments. Is that what you want to get to, dude?
Yeah.
Dude. Maybe some therapy port over here. Let's get to it. We'll start out with John Pollock, I suppose. This kind of starts it off here. He says, I'm calling my shot right now. He says, St. John's, let's go New York, baby. Goes to Connecticut and walks away unscathed with a dub over the Huskies.
Johnny,
before we move on, dude. Yeah, what do you think?
It's just because of his name? He likes St. John's because his name is John. Is that too simple thinking? Or?
I don't know. Sometimes the simple answer is the right answer, right?
I guess. It wouldn't be my answer. No, listen, St. John's is great. That's why they beat Marquette last night. But I think it's going to be a battle. And honestly, I can't definitively say one way or the other. Obviously, just because, being a UConn fan, I'm going to say UConn, but I have no idea. But I think it's honestly going to be down to the last possession.
So they are
the atmosphere is going to be, unbelievable. And really, St. John's has played more consistently this year, but I think the UConn talent level is on par.
So UConn's going to win?
No, I'm saying that's my guess, but it's
right.
I'm not. Tony. You get what I'm saying.
I do.
It's a tough game. It's anybody's game.
And how about this here? Michael Theophil comes in here. Says, I agree with John! Exclamation point. Especially since I am blocked from Michael Buckta. John getting a good chuckle out of that one. And then Michael goes to further and says, and I'm a UConn fan, but Michael Buckta has hurt my love for them since being blocked. So until then, ...
I think there will be a reunion at some point,
I'm sure.
Third-party mediator on here.
And here we go. Maybe Matthew Gabriel try to be that third-party mediator. Come on, Michael. Unblock Michael. Michael, unblock Michael.
And I talked to him. I texted him a couple texts yesterday. I said, come on, Michael. You know what to do, bud. We talked about it. Come on.
And then also before that, actually, Matt says, no Michael on Michael crime. But then Ernie before that, he said that Braun plays the 5 because of top 5 center before retiring as well.
I mean, the way that the NBA has become so positionless, I mean, you definitely can't rule that out.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's for sure, dude. And then that's basically it, dude. I guess we'll keep you updated with any more Michael on Michael crimes.
Yeah. And I still just can't believe though that we're just still. I mean, it's just the same hardball situation with Alonzo here.
Hardball, yeah, dude. I told you, it's
spring training.
Spring training, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing ball when a contract is signed.
You think he's gonna have a bad year now because behind the 8 ball? We saw the guys who were late signed last year.
I wouldn't be surprised if he at least has a slow start to the year.
Yeah,
which sucks, especially if he's gonna be on the Mets.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that. But you never know. Could be like fired out of a cannon, maybe.
I don't know. For some reason I feel like he's pissed and he's not gonna come back. But what do I know?
But come on, do you think he's gonna be like? I don't think he's gonna be spiteful and not go to the Mets because of that.
Honestly, I think he's so. I'm telling you, Tony, he is tight. Think about it. Like he's in this organization. He has that great rookie year, and he's had some other great years. I know last year it wasn't, but he did hit the home run last year that catapulted them to that run to the National League Championship Series
off of Williams, by the way.
Off of Williams.
So watch out.
I just think he just feels like embarrassed, honestly, because they're really like, he knows that, all this talk about Cohen, the endless paychecks, all of that. He knows, that he has the money and they're playing hardball. There's a line in the sand. There's no way he doesn't feel disrespected.
Yeah, I guess so. And listen, I mean, obviously that home run was huge. I'll bump into it on Instagram or Twitter and I'll watch it for it's 6 minutes straight. But I mean, I don't know, if you're Alonzo, how can you're going to be pissed at yourself for not having a good year. If you played great and you played like you should have, you'd be getting the contract you want. Yeah. Okay. And that's really what it boils down to. Yeah. And you didn't do that. So how could you sit here and ask for something, quite frankly, I don't think he really deserves,
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to do. And, again, I mean, I feel like even to the media, I mean, Stearns and Cohen were more than straightforward about dialing back, not even in terms of just, I don't want to spend the money, but I just want to spend my money more smartly. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what the direction they're going in. And like I said, I mean, like if Alonzo just stood up to the occasion and had a great year, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So
yeah,
that's where we're at. And it is unfortunate that no one is budging on either end. It does scare me that, they had offers on the table. They pulled back out of negotiations because I guess they were so far off, which I feel like I'm trying to remember the number the Mets threw out, I think it was like 3 years, 75, right? Or even maybe less than 75, which is probably a little low.
Right.
Like I said, 3 for 90 is what I would do. Top notch, upper echelon in terms of the money I would give Alonzo probably. And if that has been on the table, I mean, I would find that rather odd, to be honest. I would imagine Alonzo's probably asking for more. But, I guess, we'll see what happens. But again, I still don't think he'll be in any other uniform than the Met uniform, I mean, do you really think Toronto's offering him more than 3 for 90?
Probably close.
It probably is close.
Maybe
but then at that point, if it's close enough, is he going to go move to Toronto for a couple mil? I don't know, man.
If he's pissed enough.
What's the conversion rate over there, Brian?
Maybe he's talking to Vladdy,
Yeah, no, maybe. I mean, that would be, we talked about it, Vladdy over there, first base.
And then, you got Santander. I mean, that becomes a powerful lineup.
Yeah, no, it does. But then that's what Alonzo's going to be, though. He's just going to be like DH.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who's a better fielder, him or Vladdy. I mean, you think it's a toss-up?
It's pretty close, honestly.
Yeah.
I've seen Vladdy make some great picks at first base.
Not so many with Alonzo.
Yeah, I don't know about picks. I would say maybe Vladdy's a little bit better. He is, for a man of his size, he's surprisingly athletic.
Yeah. So, gonna be interesting to see, what happens. What's the latest?
It looks like John Pollock says any day Tigers.
Yeah, he wants Bregman.
For Bregman, okay, not for Alonzo, obviously. No. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. And then Michael Thiefel says, I am innocent. Michael is guilty, he says. I still love him. He's the one who hates me for having my own opinion. One that, by the way, Michael says, isn't that crazy. Which I guess, what do you think about that, Brian?
No, it's not that crazy. It's definitely not that crazy. It's just one of those things that, I mean, like, obviously it's not going to happen right now, but like, could it happen in the future? Obviously it could happen. I mean, it just all is.
Be careful what you say. You might get blocked.
It all depends on, how the next couple of years go. I mean, that's what it is. So it's not crazy. So let's just see what happens. Just like the whole thing with like Yankees, Mets, this, that. It's like, let's just see what happens.
See what happens on the field, on the court, exactly. Dude. Has Hurley's never touched the NBA?
No, I mean, he started out at Wagner, then went to Rhode Island, and then went to UConn, and then interviewed with the Lakers, but didn't want to go there. And I know he's a Northeast guy too, so that's why the Knicks would make sense if he did want to go to the NBA. But I think you're not going to be able to answer that question until the opportunity presents itself. Do you think he'll do well as a coach in the NBA? I think he can coach anywhere. Honestly. Yeah. Because somebody that's that into it, wants you to win. He seems like he's a player's coach. Like he'll drill you hard in practice, but he wants what's best for you. And I think every single player that's ever played for him will tell you that. Let's say the Knicks maybe have a good playoff push, whatever, but next couple of years they're falling short, maybe injuries, lack of depth, Tibbs not really budging. Do you think it'd be like he's out, Hurley would be in? Like you'd be hyped. Yeah, I mean, if they feel that that he's Thibs maybe he's holding them back. Yeah, I mean, and I think, like I said, I think he can coach anywhere. So let's see what happens. So yeah, that's really it for baseball. Obviously, pumped for the Yankees, of course, and the season in general. But let's switch over to golf here. One of my favorite non-major tournaments of the season, the WM Phoenix Open. From Scottsdale, Arizona, TPC Scottsdale, of course, started in 1932. This par 71 course, 7,261 yards. Has always played relatively player friendly. Not like a 30 under course, but your high teens, your low 20s. It's interesting too. They did make this a signature event back in 23. Purse was at 20 million, but then it went back down to 8.8, and this year it'll be 9.2 with the winner getting 1.656. And just from playing there, I always talk about this when we talk about this tournament, just how fast the greens are, and of course, pros are way more, used to this than I would be. But like we all putted on the first hole, everybody like putted off the green pretty much because the greens are that fast. So you usually get like a good roll. And it was interesting because it was so cold last year, which, we went over the temperatures, most of the rounds will be in the 70s and pushing 80 with a lot of sun. So it'll be different. But last year, you weren't getting that bounce that you would normally see. So it's nice. There was even a frost delay, I believe, on the first or second round last year. So it's nice that the suitable conditions have returned. And I know they're trying to temper the crowd. And I don't know if they banned the whole throwing the drinks on the course or whatever. For the hole in one, I feel like they always do that at 16. So I like it. Some people get, the golf purists, some of them definitely get a little tight, saying that it's, just a little too much, kind of like a college, like frat type of atmosphere. I'm just curious, what's your take on that? I mean, I feel like because it's only this event, it's okay. That's part of the history of the event. And it's not like someone's gotten seriously hurt. If someone did, that's completely different. That hasn't happened. No, exactly. And it's interesting, I guess, until someone does, that wouldn't be an issue. But I can see something stupid happen. But again, it hasn't happened. So I think it's totally fine. I think it adds to the atmosphere. It definitely fits, within, Phoenix, Arizona State, the party school. Like it just fits the atmosphere. And not to mention, like, it creates excitement, like I understand you got these old heads, the tradition, PGA, collars are up, dude. Very, very whatever. But I don't know. I like it, dude. And I mean, I guess you say what you will, but I think it's good for the sport. Yeah, no, I agree. So really looking forward to watching this one on Thursday. And just looking at the recent history here, Nick Taylor won in the playoff over the grizzled vet Charlie Hoffman, who's about to be eligible for the senior tour. And has actually had some good tournaments so far this season. So that was at 21 under, and Nick Taylor had quite the season last year. A guy that's been on tour for a while but hasn't really broken through. Scotty went back to back in 22 and 23, 19 under, 16 under, and the 22 year was a playoff over Patrick Cantlay. Brooks Koepka, his last PGA Tour win as a member of the PGA Tour. I know technically the PGA Championship counts as a PGA Tour win back in 21, 19 under par. And this is where he actually had his first PGA Tour win. That was at 19 under over, it looks like KH Lee and Xander Schauffele. And then 2020 Webb Simpson, a playoff over Tony Finau, 17 under. And then 2019 Ricky Fowler, 17 under, 2 strokes clear of Brandon Grace. So like I said, That sweet spot of this tournament is the mid to upper teens. 1 year, Phil did go crazy. I guess it was the course record, 256, 28 under par.
Jeez.
So, he had always played, well at this tournament, but obviously no longer being part of the Live Tour. So yeah, and two, even though, it's not a signature event this year, the field is still pretty good. You got Scotty, Hideki Matsuyama, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, Sepp Straka, Robert McIntyre, Sahith Theegala, Billy Horschel, Sungjae Im, Tom Kim, Sam Burns, Byung-Hung An, Maverick McNeely, Nick Taylor, looking to defend, Aske Bahatia, Nick Dunlap, Max Greiserman, Brian Harmon, Austin Eckroth, and Lucas Glover. I know Jordan Spieth is also in this tournament as well, as his world ranking is down to 84. So Spieth at 84, Fowler at 85. So there are two guys that are really looking to pick things up and get back to where we're used to seeing them. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent in this field. Joel Damon, had the big finish. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. It was either last week or the week before. Yeah,
I think it was last week.
So there's a lot of talent in this field. So I know it's always difficult to pick here, but if you had to do it, Tony, a winner and a sleeper here for the WM Phoenix Open. And it was a ninth last week. So it was 2 weeks ago at the Farmers.
Oh, it was
tied for ninth after missing the first two events.
I know, dude. This is tough, dude. I can't. In terms of who I was looking at, I mean, I kind of like the way Sepp Straka started off his year. He won the Amex, I believe, right?
Yep.
To start the year off, so pretty hot. So I don't know. I was gonna kind of pick him as my winner, but I don't know, dude. I think I'm just gonna go with Scotty. I know it may seem kind of chalk, but not for nothing, dude. Last week, after not swinging a club for a couple weeks with the hand injury, I mean, Scotty's looked great. I think he led last week, strokes gained on the approach, so killing it off the tee.
Short game's everything.
Short game is everything, and I would imagine after last week, some of the rust was dusted off. Again, dealing with the hand injury and the lack of playing leading up to last week, and still tied for third, right? Was he tied for third? Ninth?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. But still, regardless, I mean, I think it was, still great play from Scotty, and I think being the fact that he had won this tournament already back-to-back times, which, by the way, I think seems to be a theme. I feel like there's a lot of multiple winners.
Yeah.
Right? You'll get the past like 5 to 10.
I mean, I know that was
10
back,
years, but still, I mean, it happens a lot. So I think Scotty being comfortable at this course, and of course, looking to pick up where he left off last season. I would say give me the notch for him, for Scotty. Why not? I know it's a favorite, but it's a favorite for a reason. All right. So I'll say he'll win this one, and I'll give it around, I'll say 19 under.
Okay. Yeah, right in there.
Which I think, is around which has been in the past few years. And then I guess for my sleeper, it's interesting. I noticed that Hovland and Aubert not in this tournament.
Yeah, because it's not.
It's just not a signature event.
People, if they want to take off the week, they're gonna.
Which is nice, and for a sleeper, I was kind of looking at Luke Clanton, the amateur we were talking about a couple weeks ago, but they want to go with Andrew Novak. Novak has had a top 10 finish already this year. I believe he finished third at the Farmers and then tied 13th last week at the 18th Pebble Beach. And a lot of his, I would say, success is coming because he's doing well around the green. His putting has been very good, and we said too, putting it seems to be pretty much everything in Phoenix here. So I guess give me Novak, and I'll probably say around the same, maybe 17 under. Novak's winning.
Yeah. No, I like it. I'm gonna actually go.
Do you
I'm
like
gonna agree with. No, I like it. I'm just obviously I'm not gonna just
kind of skeptical.
I mean, no, I'm gonna take Justin Thomas. I'm gonna agree with. I'm gonna agree with John here.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he has had the track record here, so it seems like he's due to break through, and he's due for a win. We've seen JT struggle, but if you look at it, he's played here the last 10 years, and he's had 2 missed cuts, but then everything else has been 13th or better. So and especially the fact that he's had 3 top 5s, finished 12th last year. So think it's just a matter of time before he breaks through. And you look at it, 11, 14, 14, 13, 13, 12. I think this time he gets the consistency, and he's going to get to 18 under for JT. And then for a sleeper, I'm going to go with his best friend, Jordan Spieth.
Wow.
Due once again.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to say Spieth gets an eagle barrage over the weekend to finish at 21 under.
Barrage.
And Justin Thomas has not won a tournament since that 2022 PGA Championship. Recovered a little bit last year in terms of like top finishes. I think he's due. And I think this is a course that he likes, and I think it makes sense that he wins it.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I'm looking forward to this tournament. It's gonna be really nice to watch. Again, the atmosphere all-time high. The storylines are pretty high as well. Gonna be fun, dude.
Yeah. And we'll get a lot of TV coverage here. Thursday, Friday, 4 to 8 on Golf Channel. Saturday, 1 to 3. Sunday, 1 to 3 on Golf, and then 3 to 6:30 Saturday on CBS. 3 to 6 on Sunday at CBS. So the lead into Super Bowl 59, always love that.
Yeah, dude.
So I think this is going to be great. And then also you have PGA Tour live coverage starting at 9:15 on Thursday and Friday, and then 11 on Saturday and Sunday at 10:30. So coverage all over the place, and I can't wait to see the coverage on 16. What's your prediction? Some years there's a couple, some years there's none. You think we get some hole-in-ones in 16?
I do. I feel like last year were there two?
I'll look.
I want to say maybe last year there were two. I definitely remember seeing, because I definitely remember like seeing them throw the beer, and then I think they did it twice, but it may have been maybe for a great chip or something. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. In any case, I would say yes. I think someone notches one for sure. Who is it? If I had to guess, I don't know. Maybe Max Homa.
Max Homa.
Yeah.
Kind of a random call there.
I mean, right? I mean,
why not Scotty? No, I know hole-in-ones are random.
Man, hole-in-ones are pretty. Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah. Everyone's always attacking.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
I'm gonna say it's JT. I think this is his week. Honestly, he needs it.
I guess he's Sung Jae doing it.
And I guess did you see who had the first one ever?
Oh no,
somebody notable.
The first hole-in-one.
It was in 1997.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, someone notable? Is it Tiger Woods?
Yeah,
really.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
That is actually pretty sick, dude. Dude, I was watching highlights of the 2008 U.S. Open. Where he had like these back-to-back ridiculous birdies.
Oh yeah, I mean 08 Tiger. Are you kidding? And I'm trying to think 08 and that was at Bethpage Black.
Yes.
And he had New York State. But he had a torn ACL.
Ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely and like, dude, he's like putting from the edge of the green, and it was absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Yeah,
like it really, like I don't even know. Like it's almost like you watch it and you really can't explain how someone could even have like the ability to do that consistently. Just rip it. Oh my god, it really
It's a shame that we can never see that again.
I know, dude. I wish I was like more cognizant of it too back then. Like a little bit older, a little bit more into golf. Oh my god, probably just be ridiculous to see in person too.
I've actually because I've been zoning out slightly just because I'm trying to get the full list, but I guess it's been 11 holes in one at 16
since 97,
and there hasn't been one in the last 2 years.
Oh, interesting.
And the article lied. The first one was in 88 by Hal Sutton, but Tiger did get it in 97. So full list here. Hal Sutton in 88, Jay Delsing in 91, Mike Spausa in 2002, David Edwards 1990, Tiger Woods 1997, Jared Lyle 2011, and then we had two in 2022, Sam Ryder, Carlos Ortiz, as well as Brad Bryant in 1990, Steve Stricker in 1997, and Francisco Molinari in 2015. So we are due.
That's crazy, dude. I guess maybe I'm thinking of 2 years ago because I remember
it was 2 years ago having the two.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
And
I'm sure they probably replayed it too a lot during the broadcast. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of as well too.
And you know what, Tony? I mean, I think it would just to kind of cap this off. Look up the Tiger hole-in-one at 16, because I have it in front of me here.
Oh, wow.
I think that'll just be a little nostalgia for us to kind of close out the golf segment. And it's just crazy how in 1997, just how different everything looks. I don't think they didn't have the stadium either.
TPC Scottsdale. Here we go.
They have the gallery, but not a full stadium.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's everyone.
Tigers got 152.
Hold on. Everyone calm down. Let's bring this up here for the folks. Bang. All right, here we go.
Tigers got 152 yards. Should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this music.
It's just crazy how much different it looks and how much different he looks. So slender. Just so much energy. Just seeing him move around like that.
Oh my gosh.
It really brings you back. But I feel like it's one of those things where, like, just like how we would do the catches thing, we could really do like all day, just like watching hole-in-one, like going through all of the hole-in-ones.
Oh, that is pretty sick, dude.
And also too, I feel like with the better conditions, with the heat, not like how they were hard. The greens were very hard last year because of the cold and the frost. That will get some more rolling, so where you'll have a chance where something's going to hit off the stick and go in.
Oh, yeah, dude. What do you think? Because, again, obviously, back then, too, a different time. Nobody's throwing beer anywhere. We're watching this video. What do you think Tiger, how do you think he feels about that?
Oh, he probably doesn't like it. I would think, right? Because he barely played this tournament. I don't know if that might have been the only time he ever played it.
Wow. Do you think the players enjoy it? Do you think the players in general enjoy that?
I think it depends on the player.
Not for nothing, because Thorne's told me because he's worked that hole specifically.
Is he?
He's definitely not playing.
Well, actually, he gets to play 16 after the tournament.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like he's not there. I think he's working at Shoe this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Especially now, he's, he gets to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. But he says when you're camera operator and you're down there on the green, you get fucking soaked with beer. So people like broadcast guys hate it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I was just going to check too, because I thought I heard about this. Just if there's anything different with the security.
Oh, by the way, we have a comment from Ernesto C.
Yeah.
Different profile picture. I don't know if it's Ernie. But he says Star Wars behind Brian, bang, and then Ghostbusters behind Tony.
It's definitely Ernie.
You think it is Ernie? Because up here is the Ernie.
Maybe he changed it or went.
Yeah, maybe.
Are they both on YouTube?
Both on YouTube.
Maybe he changed it. But I mean, Ernie C. I mean, what are the chances that there's another Ernie C?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
what I'm saying, dog.
I was just looking at the increased security measures. It says, tickets will be digital only, which I feel like they've been. A new entrance will be added on Greenway Hayden Loop. Dozens of police officers will patrol the event. Fans limited to one clear bag, 6x6x6. Fans who appear under 30 must show a valid ID to purchase alcohol. Fans may be subject to reasonable inspection, including metal detection. Walkways across the course have been large. Organizers are working to improve the fan experience. So it doesn't say anything about like throwing beer on the course. So I guess I would think it's just one of those things where they know that they can't control that.
Govern it, really, yeah.
But I would think that only is going to happen on a hole-in-one.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because I mean, even someone sticks it a couple feet, but it's not a hole-in-one. Like you're riled, but
I hope not. I hope no one. I hope people don't get carried away. Because I feel like if that does start happening, where it's a great chip or a long putt, I mean, they're gonna probably start to govern it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get out of hand.
What else? What do you think about, like, you don't really get this at golf, but they boo if you have a bad shot on 16. What do you think about that? It doesn't matter who it is.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna have one, you gotta have the other, I suppose, right?
Yeah, no, it's just like you're not used to hearing like
the
booing
boos,
in golf. Like,
You want to see Michael's comment? He's doubling. He's tripling down. He's doubling down, dude. This is more like the drama port today. Enough of the nonsense. Michael, get your own goddamn coach.
Oh, man. I just don't even have anything to say anymore. I've said my piece, Michael. You know what to do, bud. At this
point, what would Hurley say?
Michael? Hurley would say, relax.
Exactly.
Hurley would say, I got to coach my team. And it's like, listen, everybody has their own opinion.
Let's
just play ball.
You're the one that's guilty, he says. You shouldn't have said what you said live on the sports port. Your loss, not mine. When you realize what you said, come and find me.
All right. That's enough.
Now he's threatening.
I'm just putting my foot down here. Enough, Michael. Okay?
Enough.
We're not going to talk about it anymore.
All right.
There's just no need. But there is a need to go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Wellington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pastrnak. The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So no Ranger game last night. There will be tonight.
That's
Tony.
right, dog.
A very important game here against the Bruins. And speaking of them, they led off the games last night.
That's right.
Shutting out the Wild 3-0. Jeremy Swayman, had been subject about his kind of questionable play in net against the shutout. Pastrnak had an assist in this one. McAvoy, Frederick, and Geeky scoring. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed to see this win. Boston was the slight favorites at -135.
Yep.
But the Wild have been, one of the better teams in the league this year, especially away from home. Still after the loss, 20-7-3. It's unfortunate though, because I know, and I feel like too, I guess it's changed over the years, but when we first started talking hockey, I feel like you always kind of liked Boston.
Yeah.
But now, besides that, fuck Boston to begin with. They're right in front of us for the wild card, and we're 6 points back. There's no option. You have to beat them tonight.
You have to. No, you're absolutely right.
They're not even in a wild card spot right now.
They're not.
And
they're going to be clamoring just as much as you are for a win. So it's going to be a very high competitive game, as it always is. The storyline, original six here, the cities, the rivalry. And it's always a good game, no matter where these two teams seem to be standing in the standings. They always seem to be, putting on a good show on the ice for sure. And it should be interesting because, not for nothing, the Boston, the Bruins on the back-to-back coming off this win. It's not an easy, it's not an easy matchup for them. So not only, do you need the win if you're the Rangers, but you're also kind of expecting it,
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think the books are expecting it. We'll get to the game a little bit, but
I
think
books,
they're -185, the back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first game. Then we also saw a surprise here. The Sabres getting it done 3-2 over the Blue
surprising.
Jackets. Alex Tuck with 2 goals and an assist. And Tony favorite Bowen Byram.
There we go, baby.
Also had a goal and an assist. So that was good for the wild card hunt for the Rangers.
Yep.
Blue Jackets fall to 26-21-7. Sabres improved to 22-26-5. The Lightning returned to the winning ways again. I guess actually I'm trying to think. Well, both teams are in their top 3 actually, so I guess it doesn't really affect us for the wild card race. But they win here 4-3, and Olmark's return improved to 17-7-2 at home and 28-20-4 overall. Senators fall to 29-21-4.
Tampa's in the wild card race, no?
I thought they were
the Lightning. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they were in their top 3. No.
No, they're in their second wild card.
Oh, they are.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's what makes it so tough, and that's why you have to win so many games down the stretch when you're behind so many of these teams.
It is tough, and actually, both teams are in the Atlantic that are in the wild card.
Okay,
so the Red Wings are in there as well.
John's Red Wings.
Johnny.
But the thing too, I would say, Tony, is I know 28-24, barely in the playoffs right now. Tampa is a dangerous team. I think they could beat anybody, and I think they're a team, and we say this in all sports all the time, once the playoff starts, no one wants to play them.
Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. It really is kind of crazy. They are that team because they have the experience in the playoffs, and not to mention, they just have so much talent, and
Right.
especially if Vasilevsky is on it. I mean, they're a very hard team to score against.
I mean, you have 4 guys with at least 23 goals already. Sorelli has 19 and Paul has 14. So talk about like a lot of scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And Kucherov has 77 points. Hagel has 55. Point is 53. Gensel has 51. And then Victor Hedman has 42. Not to mention, I know it doesn't come up with points a lot, but you also have Ryan McDonough back on this team.
Bang.
And I think, he's one of those guys that might not always show up on the stat sheet, but he's a grizzled vet, a guy that's won before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a big guy to have. And I think that was a nice win to get.
Certainly.
At Amalie Arena. The Devils, it was closer than I think I thought. Jack Hughes did have the 2 goals.
Yeah, he did.
But they were taken to a shootout.
Crazy.
Led this game 2-1. Penguins tied it in the third, but Timo Meier, the hero, to bring the Devils to 30, 19, and 6, 15, 11, and 2. Penguins fall to 22, 24, and 9. And that was a loss that was good for the Rangers because, believe it or not, as bad as the Penguins have been all season, they're right there with the Rangers for the wild card.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Again, I feel like the Penguins are also another team. I mean, say what you will about their age or whatnot, but come playoff time, I mean, they could be also a team that's really hard to put away. Devils taking them in the shootout. I mean, I guess Penguins still get the point, whatever though. But again, I mean, that's what I just said. I mean, they're playing the Devils. They're rising to the occasion because the Penguins have not been as good as the Devils have been, at least consistently wise, especially since the Devils too were sans Nico Hischier. I would say it's a very good win, dude. Timo Meier stepping up.
17 legs to a shootout, I think.
What? Really? That long?
I mean, I could count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on Cody Glass, 14. Okay, 14, but that's still a lot of legs.
That's wild, dude. Yeah. Holy cow.
So, I mean, nice win there for the Devils. Hughes, leading the way like he's done all season long. And then we also had the Caps, and that's one that I saw coming there. Tony was on the Panthers. But 4 unanswered in the third period after it was 2-2 going into that period. And then Ovechkin sneaks in one literally with 1 second remaining on the clock, an empty netter there. So that was good to see. Capitals 35, 11, and 7. Would you say the biggest surprise in the league this year?
The Capitals?
Yeah. That type of record.
I mean, that type of record.
Competitive, but not that record.
Exactly. They're also another team, too, that seem to find their ways in the playoffs and be that a pesky team. But, I mean, to be just so dominant all year long with the roster that they have is definitely very surprising. Again, another goaltending situation. Lindgren stepping up huge. Magnapane, someone who stepped up huge for the Caps, as well as Strome too. I mean, all year long he's been pretty good. I know he wasn't really necessarily on the score sheet in terms of scoring, but nonetheless, dude. I mean, still, contributing any way he can. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I guess, is someone who's been okay, I suppose. But yeah, the whole team seems to be stepping up, dude.
And speaking of stepping up, and we thought it was over after the collapse on Sunday against Florida. The Isles, winners again.
I was on top of this one, I think.
Yes, you were. And I said, yes.
Yes.
2-1 over the Knights. And you had a great performance by Sorokin, 33 of 34. Bo Horvat at his 19th. Saad had tied it about 8 minutes into the third, but Brock Nelson ends up having the game winner, his 16th. Tony DeAngelo in on the assist there. Just seems like it's a new Islander team recently, but you do just have to wonder, despite the strong play, eventually is the Barzal injury. And I think Corey was saying it's not completely confirmed, but it looks like he's going to miss the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Is that going to come back to bite there?
I mean, I feel like that's been the story of Barzal with the Islanders for the past few seasons. Is that he's just been riddled with injuries, I mean, rookie year bursting on the scene, and then, struggling with injury, dude. It's tough. And like in big moments too. I mean, last year they were making that push. I think last season, was it right after the Bo Horvat trade, he gets injured?
Yeah.
So it's like, you think that he's going to, the Islanders are kind of on their way, and then something like that happens. So I don't know. It's tough, dude. I mean, with, 57 points, they're obviously out of a wild card spot. They're clamoring for one. There's a lot of competition here. Another team that has very, limited space here for error. They got to step up. So I don't know. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say that injury does bite them in the ass. You're relying, albeit, Brock Nelson had a great game, but you're relying on a lot of older players too. So I guess, we'll see what happens. They're playing, not to mention, I know Vegas is still good, but they've been a team we've talked about struggling to score right now. They find Vegas at the right moment. They get the dub. They get the job done. That's great. 8-2 in your last 10. We mentioned the win streak. This is a great bounce back from that. But I think there's still a couple question marks there.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens there. A tight one in St. Louis, but the Oilers get the job done 3-2.
Shootout.
Connor McDavid started the scoring with his 22nd in the second on a power play. And actually finishes it off too on an assist to Connor Brown, who had the game winner for Edmonton, who are now 33-16-4. St. Louis dropping to 24-25-5 as they look to return to the Stanley Cup Finals. And Leon Draisaitl had his 37th goal of the year.
Crazy.
Also, McDavid had his 48th goal. So 22 goals and 48 assists for McDavid. So he's having another strong year in Edmonton. But, you almost look at it like you look at like Toronto, what they're going to do in the playoffs. Obviously, they backed it up last year, just falling short of that championship. But it'd be interesting to see, too, if they're active come the trade deadline.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if they are. Again, a team like this, maybe they want to add a defenseman or something. I guess if they want to bolster more offense, they could, I suppose. But I think they could use some better defense. I mean, as they always could. A lot of teams can. But it is kind of crazy to think about that Draisaitl and McDavid both with 70 or more points here so far. But whatever. I mean, not for nothing. It's St. Louis. You expect to win here. Like you said, it's just interesting to see what Edmonton will do in the playoffs.
And then how about this? I think you had to win. I don't know if you had to shutout. I know I did. Mm-hmm. But the Hellebuck, actually, no, not even Hellebuck. It's Comrie gets the shutout against the Hurricanes 3-0. Edmonton, Winnipeg, 38-14-3. They're up there for Edmonton. A surprise of the year. But backup tender, one of the better teams in the league. Pretty impressive stuff there for Winnipeg.
Oh yeah, dude. Very impressive stuff. Impressive stuff for Comrie, obviously. To take down the Hurricanes in such a fashion here. We said yesterday, this is, a matchup you could see in the Cup. And not for nothing, dude. Winnipeg takes care of business. Again, 7-game series. Carolina's going to be competitive and stuff. But it is pretty crazy just to see the absolute power that Winnipeg can put out there on the ice. 2 for 4 in the power play, though, too. They're just, making, every opportunity to count for them on the ice. Very impressive win. And good for Comrie.
Good for William Nylander getting the hat trick yesterday. Austin Matthews with a hat trick of assists as the Maple Leafs polish off the Flames at Scotiabank 6-3. So Maple Leafs now 32-19-2. I know we were just talking about it, the postseason, what's going to happen. But that offense, though, is pretty deadly for Toronto.
Yeah, dude. Nylander definitely is someone who's, I forget where he's in the stats, but he's definitely up there.
Goals.
In terms of points and goals.
Johnny T had his 21st.
Having a great job. Like you said, the offense there is definitely undoubtedly can be pumping at any point. But like you said, this is a team we've seen blow down the stretch of the year, first round and out. So again, we'll see what happens if they do end up making the playoffs, which obviously they're slated to right now, being second in the Atlantic. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Obviously, if you think of history, it's easy to say they're going to blow it. And I don't know, not for nothing, I still think they're going to end up blowing it in the first round or something.
Yeah. History would suggest that. We'll see. Utah, 3-2 in overtime over the Flyers there at the Delta Center. So Utah moving to 22-22-9. Flyers fall to 23-5-7. And this was a tough loss for Philadelphia. Urson played great, 39-41 in net for Torts and the fellas. Dylan Gunther had the game tying goal in the third, his 17th, and then the game winner in overtime just before we got to a shootout at the 4:59 mark. So that has got to bite. And that was, of course, his 18th. Keller in with the assist there, his 39th. So Utah hanging around the rebranding, doing well. We'll see if they go to the Woolly Mammoth or when is that supposed to be decided? You know?
Oh, when? Oh, I don't know, dude.
It seems like it would be an off-season thing, but
I guess who knows? Teams are so weird with the renames, stuff like that, dude.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I'd probably pick a name before I even started the team. You know?
Right.
Like I wouldn't go for a year of Utah Hockey Club. I would figure that out first.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But yeah, this one was definitely tough. Sam Ersson there, 39 saves, 42 shot attempts. I mean, Philly, I know they took it to OT, but I mean, it just didn't really seem like they had much of a leg in this game. I think they only had like 20 shots on goal or something like that. So not a lot of offense being made, stupid turnovers. I don't know. The Flyers are just like bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like they're not going anywhere. Yeah. The Canucks with a surprise shutout victory over the Avs yesterday. Thatcher Demko picking up the shutout. DeBrusk had a goal and an assist, and I saw Hedl was on the score sheet with an assist as well. I think maybe his 10th of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, his 10th. And Bowser had his 17th. Canucks have had a weird year, but they're definitely in it. So it'd be interesting to see, do they try to move Pettersson now, or are they good with the team that they have? Does Hedl provide them a boost, maybe more than they were expecting? I mean, I think a lot remains to be seen.
Yeah, no, a lot does remain to be seen. Quinn Hughes not on the
score sheet
here, not on the roster. I don't know. Was he hurt?
I guess we'll have to look that up.
Right? I wasn't aware of any injuries. But then again, sometimes I am out of the loop with those Canadian teams, dude. Quinn Hughes availability, Team USA.
Mystery injury, not taking a chance.
Classic mystery injury.
Yeah.
Which, rightfully so. And I guess he won't be probably going for the
they said they're searching to replace him, yeah.
But in any case, dude, Thatcher Demko, I think it's like his 9th career shutout. So good for him. We talked about him, a lot of injury over the past couple, season and a half or somewhat. But I mean, not for nothing, to shut out a team like Colorado, very impressive. I don't know what it was. I mean, I didn't watch this game, but I mean, if you just look at this at the team stats, I mean, it looks like Vancouver had 6 power play opportunities.
Yeah. Colorado's been weird this year.
Yeah.
Because they have these games, it feels like, where they just don't show up.
Yeah. And I don't know if it is like an overlook spot or they're just kind of tired at points, but I mean, maybe they're tired, because not for nothing. I mean, normally lazy play leads to dumb penalties. And I mean, if you're on the PK 6 times a game, you're going to be even more tired. So what the hell, dude?
John's Red Wings might be the hottest team in the league. 7 straight win, 5-4 in a shootout over the Kraken. Patrick Kane, the game winner in that one. I mean, it's unbelievable. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. And I know the Kraken aren't the who's who, Tony, but just winning 7 in a row in hockey is tough. And Lucas Raymond had his 21st. And you also had scoring from Seider, his 5th on a power play. Bergman, a power play. Soderbaum, his 2nd. They also led 4-2 in the 3rd, and Seattle tied it, but good to get the game winner in overtime. Kaapo Kakko had a chance to send it to another leg of a shootout, but was unable against the former Ranger Cam Talbot. So kind of interesting there. But I have to say, a recent memory, I don't remember a team interim coach responding this well in hockey. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's great. And then, maybe John can speak more to it, but I just feel like a lot of players were unhappy, Dylan Larkin, I think, being one of them. But I mean, just as they've been doing, since the coaching change, everyone is stepping up. Lucas Raymond with a goal. I mean, he does a tremendous job of setting people up to a lot of shots on goal across the board. Tarasenko had 4 shots on goal. Raymond had 6. Larkin had 5. DeBrincat had 4 as well with an assist. Andrew Kopp had an assist also. And then, of course, I know it's like Seattle. Seattle sucks. Maybe Detroit should be doing better here, but not for nothing, dude. In the shootout, too, which I believe Patrick Kane now has the most shootout goals of any hockey player of all time. And I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the goal, too? I mean, it was just absolute, Patrick Kane in a shootout he's just in his office.
Let's get in his office for a second.
Yeah, you want to get in his office, dude? Let's get in his office, dude. Let's see. Patrick
Kane game winner
shootout versus Seattle. Here we go. 10 hours ago. Let's fucking go. This is the full shootout. We can actually maybe even watch Cagos here. Oh, yo.
And how about while you're doing that, John with a couple
saying
F Boston, told you the Jets are scary.
That's
Boston
right.
still owns you, talking about the Maple Leafs. And as well as he did say it just seems too easy. F Philly, showtime. So let's see what we got here.
Showtime is right, dude. I guess let's just go to the Patrick Kane here.
Yeah.
Why not, dude? That's not him.
You can see Kako fail if you want after.
Yeah, we'll see him fail afterwards, I suppose. Larkin, Cop, whatever, dude. Oh, this isn't the win. What are we talking about? No, it is the win. That's Kako failing. Am I blowing it here?
Yeah, you just went too far back.
This was before. There's Kane. Okay, cool, sweet. These are the replays. Can I fucking hide that? Oh my god. Here we go. Joey Decord, tight. Come on, here we go. Sweet. All right, this is a little bit beforehand. Kako, not Kako. Where am I? All right, here we go. We're good. Let's play it.
Last second ends up just flicking one, trying to go past the blocker side.
Talbot, nice.
Shootout started in 05, and Patrick Kane has had a ton of these.
Wow.
There you go.
Top shelf. Top cheese?
Top cheese, dude. Yeah, top cheddar.
Wow.
I mean, that's Patrick Kane just does that. Like, oh my god, the backhand over the glove side.
And I mean, it showed Kako failing.
Up over the glove hand side of Joey.
Kako could be the last line. Let's think positive. Here comes the big guy. It rolls off his stick, and Detroit has
swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude. That definitely. I mean, if you know anything about Cam Talbot, he's one thing. It's patient, you know. So
yeah.
Kako, I think, kind of went for the wrong move there. But obviously, I mean, Kane. I mean, again, it's just his. We're in his office, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, speeds up, slows down, dangles, backhand over the glove. I mean, how any goaltender, no opportunities.
And imagine if we had gotten this version of Patrick Kane a couple years ago.
I know. The hip injury, tough, dude. Oh, I remember.
Maybe Jury fired for that, or
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I was hyped. Getting Tarasenko and Kane at the deadline, I thought was so fucking
it was
cool,
awesome.
dude.
It was awesome at the time. Before they played it was awesome. But when they actually played, different story.
It is unfortunate. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm happy to see Kane doing well. He's, arguably one of the greatest American-born hockey players ever to play the game. So,
yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm a little bit partial to Detroit. Again, original 6 team history. I grew up playing NHL. You get them on it, dude. We got Tommy Donovan calling in here.
Get Tommy on the board.
And we got to get Tommy on the board here. All right, stand by, Tommy, here. We're just going to put you through the Bluetooth here.
And John also says, thanks, Blackhawks, for rebuilding.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what crazy to think, because, I'm growing up. I'm thinking I'm never going to see Kane play for a different team.
And he plays for 2 and 3 years.
Yeah, how about that, dude? Tommy, you're hot on the line right now.
Tommy Hockey.
Good morning.
What up, gentlemen?
What's going on, bro?
Sorry, I've been absent in the comments. I don't know what the hell happened. Something got jacked up with my iCloud, and it won't let me open the YouTube app without an update. And so,
oh wow,
I've been. Don't worry, I've been watching. I got you on YouTube.com or on.
There we go. Appreciate that.
On the old IG, maybe.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I can't do anything in the background. I can't make you go to the small screen, but it's all right.
Yeah, that's
that is a pain.
Technology, dude.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the Kane with the all-time shootout goals. That's pretty cool. The guy's are just menace when he's on the one-on-one.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you guys brought up that I had heard some rumors about was Quinn Hughes kind of having either a mystery injury or a healthy scratch. Imagine if that's to set up a trade and put all 3 Hughes brothers in Newark.
That would be wild.
Yeah, and I forgot who suggested that the other day. Was it? No, it wasn't Ernie. Somebody suggested.
Somebody did suggest that. Maybe John.
John says hi, by the way.
Yeah, John says hi, Tommy.
What's up, John? And what was the other thing? Oh, you're talking about interim coaches.
Yeah.
Wasn't Rick a mid-season coaching switch?
Say that again. You were breaking up a little bit.
I said, wasn't Rick Tocchet mid-season switch a couple of years ago?
Oh, was he? I don't remember.
And then who was it that scooped up the Hartford AHL coach mid-season? He's done all right.
Oh, was that Edmonton? Isn't Knobloch, right? Isn't he over there?
Knobloch was from Hartford?
Yeah, he coached the
Wolfpack.
That. Yeah, okay. Dude. And obviously doing well there. Yeah, definitely.
No, there was just a couple that I thought of.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, but isn't it this wild card race, Tommy, is crazy. I mean, there's so many teams. It really feels like it's a must win tonight for the Rangers.
Oh yeah, it's a pseudo playoff game already.
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like there's like a really, really steep hill to climb when you look at the standings, just because of how congested it is with teams in like the mid 50s, high 50s points. But that's something that can't be done.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And to go back up to the Quinn Hughes trade, Tommy, I mean, how likely do you think that really is to happen? I feel like that's kind of be a crazy move for Vancouver.
Well, yeah, I from what I can tell, and people I've been listening to and reading, it sounds like that locker room's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's people that don't want to be there, if it's lack of leadership, but there's something going on. And I guess I was listening to Donnie LaGreca's podcast, and him and Anthony Pusick were saying that if you were to listen somehow to sports radio up in Northwest Canada, a lot of the fans think they traded the wrong player, that they should have traded Elias Pettersson and kept JT Miller.
Oh,
so,
that's
God,
it. Yeah.
Dude.
So, I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if what's playing into it is all of those things.
Yeah.
As to why, there's a problem there,
That is like super unfortunate, dude. I feel like, because I mean, if not for nothing, I mean, they had a great setup there in Vancouver, dude. And Demko was staying healthy. I mean, they were going to be a very competitive team, I think, if the locker room was good. But didn't they also get rid of their coach this year too? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Or was that last year?
I forget the timeline of when they had the coach.
But even that, people were like, "Yo, why?" I feel like some people were not happy with the coaching change. Bruce Boudreau in 2023, I guess.
Yeah, so
it was last
year.
So I don't know. It seems like a couple of weird moves by Vancouver. And again, I mean, if you're all of a sudden now creating a locker room problem, you're trading the wrong guy. I mean, that's like a pretty huge indictment on the GM there. I guess maybe, moving Pettersson would probably be a little bit harder given that he's getting paid much more. I think his contract is around 11 a year, I think.
Yeah, I think he might be 11 and a half.
Yeah. So, I mean,
he is 25, so I guess they wanted to keep the younger star.
Right, which I guess would make sense, I suppose.
As long as there's no
locker room problem. Yeah. But if there is, and now all of a sudden you're looking to deal Quinn Hughes, I mean, that's crazy, dude. And for Quinn Hughes to land in New Jersey, how poetic it may be, I mean, that would suck for us.
Yeah.
I'd rather him land on the Rangers. That would be sick.
And John wants Pettersson to go to the Wings.
Yeah, he does say that, Pettersson to the Wings here. But, I mean, I don't know. Again, if he's causing locker room problems, I mean, that's, I don't know, man. I never really understand that as, especially at a professional level, if you guys can't figure it out on the ice, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. We dealt with that firsthand with the Rangers. Luckily, it seems like it got sorted out, but it's put us in the position that we're in.
Yeah. So what do you think about tonight, Tommy? You think we got a nice chance here? Bruins in the back-to-back?
Yeah, I think you might be able to catch him sleeping. I mean, usually they get up for this game, but
yeah.
Korpisalo
if Igor does things and the defense doesn't, keep giving the puck out or in front of them, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think a stout performance by Igor, a couple goals, we'll be where we need to be.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
The power play seems just reinvigorated with Miller on it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that is great.
Yeah,
Miller's
huge. Jacked up.
Miller is jacked up, I think. Yeah. And again, I mean, not for nothing. And again, so it's so interesting because I've seen interviews with Miller, and I guess maybe you're not going to say anything to the media, but he was asked pretty outright about the rumors about Elias maybe being a problem in the locker room, and they were all deny about it.
Copacetic.
So, everything's fine. I can bring him out right now. We'll do this interview together. It's all good.
He's a consummate professional. He does, he's not going to stir the pot,
Yeah, which is nice to have that. And again, if he's still going to be producing here, this is someone who scored just 2 goals.
I say down the stretch, he's going to win Tony over Tommy. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
this isn't like this isn't the 24-year-old JT Miller that we got rid of.
I think that's what you're thinking of, Tony.
It is what I'm thinking of. That's all I was talking about, dude. The fact that we had this guy, traded him, can't develop, whatever.
Yeah.
But in any case, listen, if he's here, Trocheck is happy. They're happy together. They're having a good time. I think that's, conducive to some good play on the ice.
Yeah. And did you guys, did you hear about the Adam Edstrom injury? Out 2.5 to 3.5 months.
Oh,
I don't even remember
really?
that he went down on.
I just remember that he was hurt, but yeah, I don't remember this.
I remember watching the hit. It didn't really seem anything crazy, and then he ends up like finishing the shift sort of deal, and then like just leaves the bench. But it's pretty tough. I think it's just one of those like just weird hits that I guess tweaked something in his lower body. Let's see. This is from yesterday on the Post. Out 6 to 10 weeks, dude. That is tough. Obviously, an injury you don't want to have to take, especially with that fourth line doing so well. But I guess this gives an opportunity for Jimmy Vesey.
Jimmy Vesey back from the dead? What do you think, Tommy? You think he steps up?
Yeah, you just hope he takes advantage of it. Yeah. It's unfortunate you never see somebody want to see someone go down, but hey, it happens. So next man up.
Yeah, no, and Jimmy Vesey is someone who I don't know. I was pretty high on for a little bit, especially actually after coming back to the Rangers. I thought he's developed somewhat, but it just seemed like you could never really find the back of the net. You'd see him on the shifts where he's maybe in the right spot, getting a pass or in front of the net, causing a screen. But it just seems like he just doesn't find himself on the score sheet very often. But again, if he's on this fourth line that maybe is doing well and, he has someone like Rempe or Carrick to work off of, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, you hope you're matching up against, their third defensive pairing.
Right.
So there are some opportunities. But it's the top six that's going to have to win these games for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, you're totally right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I think they're going to be jacked up. I think the crowd's going to be going nuts tonight. Boston, New York, that's always fun. And it was a great game last time out.
Yeah.
It was. Hey, listen, I'm going to run, boys, but I just wanted to check in with you. I've still been watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, yeah, dog. Appreciate the call.
We'll talk to you soon, bro.
Let's go Rangers.
There he is. Yeah. So, this would be for the season series win. And like you mentioned, good. The first time out, 2-1. Obviously lost 6-3 to the Bruins back on the first. I feel good about this. And,
me too, dude.
Before we tap more into that, just wanted to run over the last two here. Canadiens 4-3 over the Sharks last night. So they had been struggling, a much needed win. Celebrini had his 17th for the Sharks, by the way, and Toffoli had his 19th.
He's coming along nicely.
26. Celebrini, yeah. Almost seems like already that he's like ahead of where
Bedard
is, right?
Yeah. I think Bedard is tight.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. Like, John said, Bedard, the restructure, it's not good.
No.
It hasn't been a good restructure, dude.
Yeah, and it just seems like it would have been valuable to keep Kane around for him.
You would think so, right? And then even again, I mean, they ended up trading Taylor Hall, right? Where did Taylor Hall go?
Taylor Hall went to the Hurricanes.
That's right, dude. So it's like, who's over there kind of teaching Bedard the ropes, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. And not for nothing, I don't know. I feel like as the sport too gets younger and younger, and these guys are coming in the league at such a young age and being relied on as being, the guy for the team. I don't know. I feel like their attitudes become a little bit like, what the fuck, dude? Like, because all of a sudden you expect so much from me, and not for nothing, we suck.
Right. So, be interesting to see how they handle that situation. And Montreal lives to see another day here. We'll see if they can make a run as well. And then the last game of the night, the Ducks, my upset pick, the value was there, Tony.
It was there.
As they win 2-1 over Dallas, and you had Gothard and Zegras score. Zegras was the game winner there about 4 minutes into the third. Blackwell scoring for the Stars, and you had Gibson 26-27. So speaking of living another day, the Ducks doing that 23, 24, and 6. A lot of work to be done, but still technically, hanging in there. We had two more from John. Quinn Hughes become an unrestricted free agent after the 26-27 season.
Interesting.
And we also have a trade alert here.
Oh, wow, dude.
The Bucks trading Chris Middleton to the Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. So obviously the Wizards far out of it. Worst record in the league, I believe. Bucks obviously in contention. Getting rid of Middleton, who was a part of that title-winning team a few years ago. Getting Kyle Kuzma, who really has been up and down, traded multiple times in his career. But I'm guessing just some youth, some fresh legs here. And be interesting to see what type of role he carves out for the Bucks.
You don't sound very certain about a role he could
Kuzma,
carve out.
I always liked him like initially, but then I just felt like as the years have gone on, he never developed into the guy that I thought he would be.
Do you think he is because of the product of the organizations he was a part of, or you think he just doesn't have that in him to be developed?
I think he just doesn't have the consistency. I mean, the numbers are fine. I thought he was going to be even better. I mean, you look at it this year. I mean, he's shooting 28% from 3-point range. I thought he could be a 30, perennial 35 to 40% 3-pointer shooter, and he's only done that once in his career. And he did average 22 points a game for Washington last year, but I think sometimes those stats are hollow when you're playing for a team that's buried in the standings. So we'll have to see. Also, and I heard this earlier on Rick and Dave that it is a possibility that Kevin Durant could get traded back to the Warriors, which would be kind of crazy.
That would be kind of crazy.
And his Suns have the same record as the Warriors, 25 and 24. So both teams looking for a boost. And I think that would be a big one, but it just, I don't know, the whole way KD's careers went, it just kind of weird. It feels like a waste of talent, even though the numbers have been there, lots of injuries, lack of winning. And I think initially leaving OKC might have bit him in the ass.
It's so funny too, because I feel like last night, I guess, just scrolling, whatever, I guess I bumped into this reel of like the worst Colin Cowherd takes.
Yeah.
And like the first time before KD was traded to Golden State, he's like, "That's never gonna happen. What a stupid take that is."
Somebody suggested it.
Yeah. He's like, "That's never gonna happen, dude."
Yeah, Colin Cowherd. You can just keep going.
There was a few of them that
are
are like, "Oh my god, like that didn't really pan out at all." Dude.
So that being said, on to tonight, a 3-pack, which I know Tony, you're not too familiar with. Doubleheader on TNT, Bruins Rangers, followed by Oilers Blackhawks. How tight is Bedard? We'll see. Gideon's Kings, 10:30 ESPN Plus. But it is time for a Wednesday Frozen Frenzy.
Absolutely, baby. Let's go on this hump day frenzy. Of course, this frenzy is brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. Let's get into it, dude. Like you said, the 3-pack. But you know what, dude? Maybe small slate, but there's some solid matchups here, I think. Lots of talent around the league. And we're going to start off with the early game, the first game, 7 p.m. You can watch this on TNT, National Game Max, which is great. So around here, the blackout, MSG, don't have it. Doesn't really matter. We can still watch it, baby. The Rangers here are coming in. They're staying here, actually, at the Madison Square Garden. The Bruins are coming down here. All right, and the Rangers are -2 hundo. They're getting the Bruins on the back-to-back. Pretty, I guess, honestly, at this point, comparable teams in terms of how they've been playing this entire year. But nonetheless, the over-under is 6.5, which is interesting. I guess because of the Bruins, maybe back up in Korpisalo. He doesn't have the best stats, I suppose. But Brian said it here. This is the rubber match for the regular season series. We're tied here at 1. Of course, the Bruins, a mere 4 days ago, took care of business 6-3 in a game where JT Miller scored twice. Should be pretty interesting to see. Since then, the Bruins haven't played. The Rangers did beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Last night. Fuck, dude. Yeah. Last night, 3-0 shutout. The Rangers here. ESPN, if I see the person that fucking does this website, dude, I swear to God.
It's embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing.
Really is, dude. Fuck. What do you got here for this game?
I mean, season on the line. Let's fucking go Rangers. Igor, vintage performance, 33 of 34 in net. I think it's a 3-1 victory. I think JT Miller continuing his hot play, a goal and 2 assists. Let's go Rangers. Rangers in the under.
Absolutely love that here. I don't know. Actually, 6.5. Yeah, I'll take Rangers in the under as well here. Tommy said it on the phone. I think it's going to be the top 6 players that are going to be making the difference here for the Rangers. I love JT, Zibanejad. Okay, Pasta, no thank you, dude. We're filling up on the bread tonight, baby. Give me Panarin. 2 goals and the assist. Rangers win 4-1.
That's a bite.
Let's go. Next game, 9:30, still on TNT, the national broadcast here. We've been talking about Chicago. The Blackhawks are hosting the Edmonton Oilers, dude. Oilers coming in here, obviously way better than the Blackhawks. The records are almost opposite here. Oilers 33-16-4. Chicago 16-31-5. Yikes, dude. The Blackhawks lost 4 out of their last 5. Oilers, despite working on back-to-back losses, have won 3 of their last 5.
They did win last night because ESPN sucks ass.
That's right, dude.
Write it down, Tony. Write it down.
Honestly, dude, ESPN is really gonna fucking dude. I digress is right. This is also another rubber match here for the regular season series. Notched here at 1. Oilers, early January, beat the Blackhawks 4-3. Blackhawks did steal one in mid-November or mid-October, looks like. Nonetheless, though, Oilers hot. Minus 280, over under 6.5. Not a lot of value, but are you taking the Oilers?
You have to, honestly. The Blackhawks, they're a mess, and you feel bad for Bedard. We've been over it. I don't care about the back-to-back. Calvin Pickard, I think, will have a good game in net here. And I think Connor McDavid, I think, is going to find the score sheet again. I think he matches what he did last night, a goal and an assist, and I think it's a dominant 5-1 victory. Give me the Oilers and the under.
I like that call there. Despite the back-to-back, I don't care. I think the offense is going to be plenty early, often here for the Oilers. Maybe the Blackhawks score a couple, Bedard, Bertuzzi, why not, dude? But it's going to be the Oilers 5, Blackhawks 2. Oilers, and you're over here. Third game, late game. Here we go to LA. ESPN Plus. You can watch this game as the Kings take on the Montreal Canadiens. Another team in the Kings here that are working off a nice win against Carolina after on a little bit of, I think, a 4-game losing streak to Schneid. Canadiens here, obviously having a tough go at it as well, but winning last night.
There you go. It didn't fall for the ESPN
Didn't
trap.
fall for the ESPN trap here, snapping what was a 6-game losing streak. So they're trying to build back off of, maybe get back to center here. They made plus 200 for some value for Montreal, even though this is a tough matchup. The over-under is 5.5. Canadiens, the back-to-back. What do you got here?
I mean, you got to go with the Kings here, and I know Dobes has done a good job taking over the backup tender role for Primu, who was batting practice. But I just think the Kings at home, 15-3-1, Tony. That is no mistake there. So I think they win this game. I think it's a 4-2 game. So this will be my only over of the night. I'm going to say Kemp with 2 goals and an assist here. So give me the Kings and the over.
I like the Kings here. I like the over. I say this one goes, speaking of over, to overtime, dude. Give me Kevin Fiala with the OT winner. Montreal, great game, great performance, but on the road, they just haven't been as good as at home here. So give me the Kings winning 4-3 in OT. Kings and the over.
And just like that, that is your Frozen Frenzy on a Wednesday. And of course, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm.
That's right, baby.
There we go.
Great, nice frenzy, dude. That's a good one.
Absolutely. And yeah, so a couple more things here. But I guess before we do the Prism, we'll just mention briefly here. The Knicks 121-115 over the Raptors. A game that they actually trailed after the first quarter, and then ended up turning it into a 6-point win here to go wins on back-to-back nights. And you had Jalen Brunson with another great performance here, 28 points, 5 assists, and then Karl Anthony Towns 27 points, 20 boards. Josh Hart chipping in as he always does, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Knicks are 34-17, including 16-8 away from America's most famous arena, Tony. I have to say, as the days of this season go on, I know there are the depth concerns. I feel like I'm believing more and more in the Knicks. I mean, they just, I know, listen, this is the Raptors. We're not playing them in the finals. I understand it. But I just feel like I love the Towns-Brunson combo. 20 boards for Towns?
That is phenomenal. And not for nothing, I know it is the Raptors, you say, but they are the Knicks working on the back-to-back.
Yeah,
exactly. Game at home, travel to Toronto. I know it's not far, but still. Not for nothing, too. I mean, a lot of their, a lot of the naysayers are talking about lack of depth, overworking these players on back-to-back games. Are showing up for you for back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
Dominating a nice victory here. Yeah, dude, it's absolutely great.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to see it. I know everyone thinks Boston's better, including Michael Domak.
Oh wow!
I
want
to see them go down. I said I stand by what I said. No championships for a while. They don't deserve any. Talk about terrible fans. Everyone talks about Philly. Let's put Philly aside. Fuck Boston, Tony. They're not winning shite. Okay, they got too spoiled with Tommy and Kraft and Jupiter and all that. And speaking of them, they did win 112-105 in Cleveland yesterday. Yeah, that's where his rub and tugs were. Yeah, so they're the Knicks are only 2 points behind.
Jesus Christ.
The Knicks are only 2 games behind the Celtics there for second place in the East. And like I said, with that win, the Celtics did beat the East leading Cavs 40-10. Some more losses recently. And then other than that, the Sixers actually did get a much needed win, 118-116 over Dallas. Kyrie had 34-9. I don't know if you saw this, but he said something like, I don't know, that he's still shocked and miss me hombre or something. Did you see that?
No.
About Luka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. He said, miss me hermano.
I mean, he's tight.
Yeah. Well, like, I think, he'll be good with ED.
ED, dude. A little bit of craft.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. You never know what you're gonna get out of Kyrie. But I'm in on this Knicks thing. Honestly, I want to see him do it, Tony. I really do. It's good for the city. It's good for the Garden.
Yes, for sure, dude.
And like I said, I mean, I've always liked Karl Anthony Towns. It's nice to see that talent. It feels like it's finally getting realized with the Knicks.
Yeah, dude, I think so too. And a lot of people, not for nothing. I mean, Mike said it. I think at the beginning of the year, give them some time to get that chemistry going, because I think people were already writing it off. I mean, it was a crazy trade. The whole the Randall thing. Are you really like?
And then trading DiVincenzo, who was good last year, struggled this year and is out with an injury, so it looks like a good move.
Seemed like you kind of
dodged a bullet.
Yeah, no, well, now at this point dodged a bullet. But I'm saying at the time, it seemed like you had taken a step backwards almost.
Yeah,
like a step forward to 2 steps backwards, sort of deal. But obviously, it's paying dividends now, and the Knicks are rolling. Josh B's hyped, so let's go, dude.
And then what else we got here?
Michael Buckton wants to know about the trade. Why would the Bucks trade Middleton to the shitty Wizards?
Yeah, I guess Middleton. I mean, he's not the Middleton from when they won the championship when he's averaging 28 games. He's averaging 12 this year. He's only played in 23 games.
Good defense?
So I guess good defense, but if you're not out there, what good is the defense? He's also getting a little older at 33. So I think that was the reason, getting a little younger with Kuzma, and they hope that the 3-point shooting gets better, because that's something that Middleton has always been good with in his career.
That's right, dude. And then, Michael just coming after every other Michael we have here. Domek sucks, he says. Boston fans are the worst. They don't deserve shit. Sell Boston, sell Boston. John Pollock.
I agree with everything except Domek. Listen, he's a little weird with his fandom, but I always say it. If you're a Yankee fan, how bad could you really be?
Man.
Tony always hates that.
Like,
one.
What does that
always
mean?
Hates that. You always hate it, though.
He's an Eagles fan.
No, because I just feel like, though, if you know the Yankees, if you respect the tradition, I mean, you have to have some level of IQ there. That's all I'm saying. Respect the pinstripes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put your stock in Domek, you go ahead, dude.
And I guess the trade deadline is tonight, I believe, like 5 o'clock.
Oh my God, no, I thought it's tomorrow.
Let me see.
NBA.
Oh, I feel like it is tomorrow.
Deadline.
Oh, it is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Okay,
yeah.
But I saw Durant could get moved today because they're saying he's doubtful for the game, which would be a reunion game against the Thunder. But
do you really think he's gonna be traded?
Kind of. I mean, I think it's just not working in both situations, and that would be crazy. I do think the Warriors
back to Golden State.
Yeah, and I think the Warriors would be back, maybe not back to being like the dominant team they were, but way better than they are now. I mean,
what a
Kevin
fucking
Durant,
chief, though, dude.
What, Durant?
Yeah.
No, it's a shame because when he came in the league, I was like, this guy is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like you're saying the next LeBron.
Yeah.
When he was on OKC, and the fact that he played with Harden and Westbrook, that was just crazy. And it's crazy too. He's already 36 years old. Like, it feels like his career is flying by. I remember his 1 year at Texas. So yeah, the whole thing is nuts. Let's see what else. And then Michael Bucket says you can't like a Boston and New York team. And I mean, I agree. I don't know too many Boston and New York fans, but
I know two.
Who's that?
Domek being one, and then Andrew Kalach, dude.
Andy,
yeah. He's a Patriots fan. He's a Yankees fan. How about that, dude?
I think Rosso is also a Patriot and Yankee fan, which I never asked how that happened, but I'm almost positive.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you're in this weird Connecticut, New England area where you're exposed to both. You are. I mean, you can easily go to a Celtics game. You can easily go to a Yankees game.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever, dude. It is a little odd.
It is odd. It is odd. But it is time for a Panini pull in Major League Baseball.
Let's go, baby.
Get started here. Another Hall of Famer. Once was a starter, then a reliever. He has a mustache that Tony would be very proud of. I'm sure he's combed it many times over the years. Unfortunately, was part of the Boston organization, I believe, at least on the broadcasting end. I don't know if he still is. But Dennis Eckersley. So this is number 89 here.
Very nice.
In the summer, he came to Oakland hoping to stay a starter. He ended up being one of the greatest closers in history. Next level, dominant, green and gold, late 80s, early 90s, winning the Cy Young and MVP in 92 as a closer. That's nuts. 320 of his 390 saves in 9 years with the A's. So we know about the history that the A's have. Obviously, that is no longer moving to Sacramento and then going to Las Vegas. We move along here with a prospect card here. It looks like
prospects.
DRKS from the Nationals, Brady House.
Okay.
In the summary here,
nice.
Number 21, the ball that sounds different coming off the bat of House, muscling up pitches from the right side of the batter's box. A slugging shortstop boasts rare power that will propel him to the bigs one day. Quickly getting his hands through the zone, he makes a smashing and absolute behemoth home run look easy. So I think this is one to look out for.
Dog.
I love the look of the card, and
For
I don't remember
Washington.
getting a fire DRKS card from Washington.
Wow, good for him.
We have another shiny card, and actually, you're going to be riled. This is actually probably as good of a card as we could have gotten.
No.
Take a guess.
Alvarez.
A rookie card.
Oh.
A rookie card from a rookie from last year.
Skeens?
Paul.
Yo!
Skeens.
Let's go, baby.
Hitters dreaded stepping into the box and seeing Skeens staring back at them from the mound. The fireball goes into his windup before delivering a heater that reaches triple digits. Slinging fastballs past befuddled batters over and over. He stacked strikeouts in bunches. And it says 192 out of 399.
Whoa.
So who knows? I know this isn't like the behemoth
Call that
Paul
kid.
Skeens card,
Yep.
but I think this is a pretty good Paul Skeens card. And I think it's our best baseball card we've got.
Maybe we can get season tickets to the Pirates forever.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Michael in the live comments, let's go.
Go to the end of the girlfriend.
Two more cards left here. We're going to go to the Milwaukee Brewers, a name that I might struggle with, Abner Uribe.
Okay.
Uribe, earmarked for a spot in the bullpen early in his career, made a quick big league debut in 23, quickly locked down a high leverage job, working behind all-star Devin Williams, the flamethrower right-handed, contributed 8 holds and 1 save with a 1.76 ERA in his first season in Milwaukee. So another nice card here, number 210. We're going to finish out with a guy who has some history with the Yankee organization, but was also a longtime manager, stops in Seattle, as well as the Cubs and Tampa Bay Rays. You know who I'm talking about.
Manager for the...
Sweet swinging.
I don't know.
Fiery manager. Cubs, Mariners,
Joe
Ichiro's
Madden?
manager.
Oh.
You got to know it.
I can picture his face right now, dude.
Times. Sweet swinging. I can't believe you don't know it. Lou Piniella, Tony. Come on.
They were just talking about him on the fucking on freaking Dave.
Coming off a last place finish in the division, Chicago needed new leadership in 2007. Piniella was the man for the job. The skipper already had 2 Manager of the Year awards and won a World Series championship on his resume. He quickly whipped the team into shape with division titles in his first 2 seasons. Sweet swinging Lou. And I didn't realize he was actually the manager of the Reds when they won in 1990, the Big Red machine. Just like that. It's your 5-pack Panini pull Paul Skeens. I mean, we obviously have to look that one up. That's kind of crazy.
Michael's definitely on it right now,
card.
dude. Unbelievable.
We might need to get a Brinks truck in here.
Yeah.
But that was awesome, honestly. That was exciting. I wasn't expecting it because
Me neither,
had some
dude.
cards like, oh, who's this guy? A lot of legends and stuff.
Lou
Baseball,
Piniella.
a little different. I want to see. Do we have one more here? Is it?
Another pack? Why you open it right now, dude?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, looks like one more pack.
Don't touch it.
But yeah, the baseball packs are great. Corey had given me some ideas too for next time. And I didn't realize this, but it's just like with these cards, like the best ones to get, I guess, are like from like hobby shops and stuff. Maybe Michael knows more about this. But that's what he was just telling me. That those like they're more expensive boxes, but they can have like the Skeens, like that Skeens type of card. So something we'll keep circled and might have to be part of the 24-hour stream.
Yeah, dude. Imagine ripping packs for a whole hour. That would be ridiculous.
And then he says, let's go, Paulie. I'll look it up and sit with his girl. Wow.
I mean, that's what they offered the kid. Go to the game with his girlfriend.
It was with the girlfriend.
Yeah. You sit in the girlfriend's row, I guess, which is kind of weird, but I mean, it's fine.
Kind of like when A-Rod was creeping on, what the heck was her name? Monique Davis in the Little League World Series. I don't know if you remember that a couple years ago. Remember though, like she was she pitched in the World Series and then she ended up playing college softball. So she came up to the booth and it was like the most uncomfortable. Because you know how A-Rod would do like the cheesing and stuff. And she's like this like 15-year-old girl and she's kind of like, or maybe even a little older than that, but it was just so awkward.
That is so weird.
Yeah,
he's a weirdo.
It's A-Rod. Yeah, we know that. So I'm trying to think. I mean, I think that's really where we're at. Is there gaming corner later?
Gaming corner tonight, Joey, Michael, myself, dude. Red Dead Redemption.
The Red Dead Rush, Tony.
Yeah,
it feels
dude.
Like, huh?
Coming in hot. Yes, exactly, dude. Settle up and ride, baby. 8 or 7 o'clock.
Now, is it a story mode?
Story mode.
Okay, so there's no like online element of it.
I mean, not for us specifically. You can play online.
Okay.
But we're hammering the story mode right now.
How does the online work? Like, what do you do? Like, is it some battle on a horse?
Yeah. So
like kind of like chicken on a horse, or no?
No, I don't think so. It's interesting. I mean, there's a couple different game modes. One of which is kind of like a team deathmatch sort of deal, where you're on a team going around. It's just like who kills the most people, reaches the score, whatever. Another one is kind of like where because it's Rockstar Games, same company that makes GTA. So there's a mode where it's just like open world online and just with other people, you can still do whatever you want. You can kill people, whatever. So it is online does get fun for sure, dude.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's gonna be at 7 o'clock. So definitely check that one out. But I have to say, here we are, Tony. Another great show. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Gaming Corner. Let's go Rangers! And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.